Okay, yeah. This is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster, and this is a review of another feature film that just came out. I guess last week. I get around to seeing. It's called Godzilla versus Kong, not Kong versus Godzilla. That was the original. This is Godzilla versus Kong, which is basically the Space Bridge meets Shadow Children. No, not really. Oh yeah, they go to a thing. Uh, yeah. It does sort of have a Kenny, but a Kendra, as they Brandon would say over there in Canada. It was filmed partly in Canada and Hawaii, and I don't know if any of it was in Hong Kong, but Canada and Hawaii. Um, um, yeah, I don't know Tenol to just watch his videos. Shout out to his sarcastic videos, Brandon Tenol. Um, anyway, yeah, cult movie reviews. This is he reviewed the other original, of course. Yeah. So, Converse Godzilla, first thoughts, whatever. It's a kaiju movie. Yeah, it has a lot of the scenes from the 3 minute trailer for this kind of gave away scenes that were going to happen later to get people to go and see it, and they probably shouldn't have had those in there. I know they were out of sequence, so it's kind of hard to figure out. But if you piece them together, you could tell a lot of the stuff that's going to happen in a spoilery review, I guess, because I'm not going to do a later review. But at the end of I guess this is a trilogy, with the Godzilla King of the Monsters being the last one. Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things in it again. One of the main characters. There's two Kendras. In a way, it's her and Kendra and the other. Two or three. You have a cast that includes people in authority who are African American descent. You have a guy that's also a sort of hyperactive, sort of like the donut guy from that guy, donut guy from Transformers, but older. Now he's like a conspiracy theorist. So it could be in the Michael Bay universe. It isn't, but it could be. Adam Weisman, I think, directed this. Some other guy. Yeah. I think he's done other stuff, other action movies. I might have got that name wrong, but anyway. So and cousin Bobby Brown's in it. She's not really my cousin, but similar last name. No, she's not. Not related. No relation. Yeah. But yeah. So we have your plot. Your basic kaiju plot. Apparently, there's a Hunger Games type simulation space realm that the cyber tech society has built to house Kong after the island disappeared. They've been training him or something, and he gets the spear and he breaks part of it, and then they got to move him. There's a little girl from the island because they found the island. The girl, I don't know how old Kong is supposed to be. He's got to be ancient if he was in Vietnam times, and now he's around. So and bigger. You wonder where the rest of his species are. They're like a Bigfoot, but like really, really, really Bigfoot. So you wonder where they are. But it's a kaiju movie. But we find out where they might have gone in the story. This is also similar to the plot of Iron Sky 2, which would have been called The Hollow Earth. There's a Hollow Earth theory thing. The whole idea of a journey to the center of the Earth is that was the Jules Verne story. That has evolved into the Hollow Earth, but it's Jules Verne. So basically, it's a Jules Verne. It's also the Lost World. A lot of that, not the Jurassic Park one, but rather the Lost World, based on the Jules Verne thing, and the other guy that wrote the Lost World, and not that Jurassic Park one, but the other Hollow Earth story, the Hollow Man, and all that. There's a lot. There have been a lot of books about that. So yeah, it's scientifically impossible. However, okay, kaiju movie. So are giant, the 300-foot tall Godzilla monsters. Their geostructure would crush them on the Earth. They kind of tried to address that, and then when they found the Hollow Earth thing, they were like, oh, it's like this like pocket under the thing. Like they found with radar and stuff, they found some pockets of water and rock and stuff in the crust. It's not in the center of the Earth. It's in the crust. These areas would not have any sunlight. They would not have it. So it's not the Hollow Earth really. It's just in the crust of the crust of the Earth is thick. Miles down, there's some pockets of the crust where it's not, where there's stuff down there. There's no creatures down there because they couldn't get out. They're just down there. There might be microorganisms or something. But yeah, there'd be no sunlight. It'd be dark. It'd be like caves. So it's not Hollow Earth. It's really caves. But in this story, it's a gigantic world underneath that they go to, which is related to Kong's origin. Ooh, and anyway, so they get Kong on a boat. And they're taking him on a boat. And I think the lady in it isn't the mother because they didn't like go there with that. Love Billy Bobby Brown, his character. She's someone else. The father is stressed because the Millie character wants to go. I think she's called Maggie in this. She wants to go hang out with her crazy Aussie friend who has a van. Sounds a little suspicious. They're in high school, guy with a van. That was kind of a cute scene where they steal the van. She steals it. Well, she takes it from him, but he's still driving, so it's like she drives it. But he's not evil or anything. It's not like Tomorrowland where it's a creepy old guy hanging out with him until later, until they go to meet the conspiracy theorist guy, the donut guy. Call him the donut guy, but he's probably not. It's probably a different dude. But he's all like hyperactive and stuff. Which earlier on they show him doing some of his conspiracy things. Sneaks into the cyber lab, and he's so nervous that it's like, wouldn't they know immediately that he was there? I know it's a kaiju movie, it's not supposed to make sense. But even in the logic of the movie, it's like, wait a minute, you've got this guy that's running around going, I'm not the guy, I'm really the maintenance guy, I'm not the guy. It's like, no, you're totally suspicious, dude, come on. But yeah, they have this like subplot where they team up with him and they go to they find this tramway thing and they go to the other. They find a computer and a head and a skull and stuff, and they find it. They go to the tramway. Somehow they got into the lab, the kids and the conspiracy guy, and they get transported over to the Hong Kong lab. Meanwhile, all that other stuff is happening. That's a little later, though. The first fight is actually in the first 20 minutes, and they're trying to figure out why Godzilla is attacking Florida, and that's what causes all the other stuff to happen. The girl to go out with her friend, and and try to find the other guy. Godzilla, why is he attacking the Earth? So the government people send in for Kong to come out on a boat and sail out there. And he fights Godzilla in the water, blows up a bunch of ships and stuff. There's an aircraft carrier, they attack that. They're all in the trailer. So there's all that going on. It's a lot of eye candy, a lot of action porn. So... Sure, why not? So we have, meanwhile, we have this subplot of the infiltration of the cyber headquarters in Hong Kong, where they discover the head of the other guy, that's the head of the patient Monster Zero Radon, who's been captured. Should be Raiden, but oh well. Oh well, it's patient Monster Zero. They've been using his head to create a Mecha Godzilla. Ooh. They already gave this away, though, because it's in the trailer. So I'm not really spoiling that. It's in the trailer, and there's already toys in the toy store. So there's a Mechagodzilla toy. It's like, oh, they gave it away. It's a version of Mechagodzilla. I wouldn't say it's the original, because no, the original is the original. And the what was it, 2000 version was also I don't know, one of the originals. A little bit better than the 70s version. Of the Mechagodzilla. This version is kind of looks weird. Anyway, so yeah, we have something doing things. Hold on a minute. So yeah, the Godzilla versus Kong movie. There's all these weird stories going on. So you have the scientists with King Kong looking for looking to chase Godzilla all over the world. Go to Antarctica for some reason to find the. I go, yeah, they're gonna find the anus of the world and go down into Antarctica. Even though that would probably be in the Arctic, not in Antarctica. But oh well. But yeah, the aperture actually looked like the O-ring of a butt. Mechanical one, of course. And then the Iraq one, it looked like they were into the colon of the wall. Even though it's ridiculous. Why would there? If there was a passage that big that they could all fit through it, then that, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But kaiju monsters, ooh. Let me check. So you have them going down to the center of the earth through Antarctica. You have a lot of sign language stuff. One of the jokes in there. There are a few jokes, but they're kind of flat. Was that this coward? That they thought it meant brave, and at the end they referenced it. The guy, yeah, it didn't mean brave. It didn't mean. No, she was being sarcastic, but it's weird. It's like when you the joke doesn't work because of the body language with the sign language. It's like clearly she's not saying brave if she looked at you like you were a coward. it's like you're pathetic. It's like, come on. but yeah, later on they reference that. But yeah, there's the jokes don't altogether work. So the evil guy that looks like the dude from The Most Interesting Man in the World kind of dude. He's gotten hold of the kaiju head, and he's using it to power Mechagodzilla with a psionic Japanese guy with a helmet on. The others have gone to Hong Kong. The break-in kids and the conspiracy theorists have gone to Hong Kong and found out about it. And not once did they get shot. Not once did they get caught. They go through all security doors and everything. You get to see a battle between Mechagodzilla and this other creature and all that, and nobody catches them. Then they finally get caught, but then not arrested or thrown in the brig or anything. And then the Latin guy figures out who she is, and then nothing happens there. There's a lot of places where stuff like that happens, where they're just like, oh, we have Kong, we took him out, we didn't see that, we didn't film that. Or we've gone over here to this place where we didn't see that. We trapped these guys, we didn't need to see that. Kind of do in a story if you're telling a narrative. You kind of have to explain at least somewhere how people got from one place to the next. Otherwise, it's just like I literally walked off the set into the other set. Now with a comedy Transformer series, you can get away with some of that because it's a comedy and you can have the actors actually say, "Oh yeah, that plot hole didn't make sense back there." Ha ha ha. Something like that. That's fine. But in this case, you're not supposed to do that in a big budget, $200 million sci-fi movie. Yeah, if you have an actual budget, you should actually have a script that's a little tighter. Makes things make sense. Godzilla fires his ray beam after arriving in Hong Kong. He fires his ray beam down to the center of the earth because Kong has found his house and he's walking around and he's found like this alien thing. His staff, the Scythe of Destiny. Basically, he has a Scythe of Destiny, but it's blue instead of red. And he's going to use it and charge it. The radiation would kill them all when they went down there in their bathyscaphe spaceship things. So not bathyscaphe. That's something else. That's a submersible. This is more of a Terranaut thing from the Core movie. And Hong Kong looks like it's from Blade Runner and Tron. So the neon is really distracting in the story and makes it look less real because there's neon everywhere. It looks like a video game. Yeah, you probably had to actually put some depth with your buildings, and it did not look, yeah. Yeah, I get it, it's a video game, but still. Yeah, they evacuate the city, allegedly. If there are 100 million people living there, they didn't evacuate the city. No, they didn't. They just had to throw that line in there. So in that case, we're explaining things away. They're trying to say, oh, the city was evacuated when we attacked the buildings. It's like, no, it wasn't. but apparently down in the underworld, you have a scene where after getting the stick, the Destiny stick, charging it, the bad guy shows up. There's like a red herring bad guy lady, and she's all, I want to use this power and take some of it up to the surface, and that's what pisses off Godzilla to fire his ray beam down there to the center of the Earth, which would open a portal big enough for Kong to come out of with the ship. Why would he do that? And then they have a fight. So it's like, well, the bad guy lady is dispatched by pterodactyl-like things that come down and dispatch her. Yeah, there's a lot of fighting monsters in it. There's plenty of fighting monsters in it. Yeah, so we have back to Hong Kong. Somehow they're all there. Somehow the father guy is able to. He didn't use the kids, and the guy used a super advanced railway system to get to Hong Kong in like hours. Whereas the father guy hears about the phone call from like Hong Kong, and he's there in what appears to be 6 hours, because literally it's nighttime when all the action happens with the neon, and then it's morning, so it's got to be at least 5 hours, if not 6 hours, of daylight during the summer in that time period. It's got to be maybe 8.5 hours. He couldn't get to Hong Kong that quickly, and they didn't explain how he got there. They should have said there needed to be a line of dialogue in there. It's like, I got into another one of those space trams, and I came over here right away, or something, with my force to save you, or whatever. That would have made more sense. Just a line in there. Just yeah, I took the bullet train. You don't need to explain it fully. Just I took the bullet train. I was here anyway. Yeah, it needed to be something. But yeah, because the rest of the dialogue with the backstory of Millie Bobby Brown and friends being listed in third bill in there as a main character, that stuff was not nearly as interesting as the other stuff. The Michael Bay type frantic teenagers running around is not nearly as interesting as the other. A little bit better than Michael Bay though. It's not that bad, but no Shia LaBeouf, but yeah. So it wasn't bad. It wasn't, it was fun. There were parts of it that were fun. The battle scenes were fun, even though it looked cartoonish because of those buildings. The daylight fight looked better. They actually improved on that one. When they fight Mechagodzilla, they team up to fight him. They went to King Kong Returns for the to reactivate King Kong so he could, with the space missile, and that's where they do the coward joke again. No strength, but no, he's really brave, not coward. Like, nah. And then he'll be brave all of a sudden for no reason. It's that cliche of the useless hero character suddenly becoming heroic for no apparent reason other than the script said you have to be heroic now. Whereas, yeah, in a given trans parody, the guy's gonna stay that way. I'm gonna suddenly do something heroic now and use the ship to start the energy source or whatever. But the bad guys already took it, so it's out of a plot hole, because when they took they said that they had the samples, but the sample was on the other ship because the Pteranodons blew that up. So yeah, so they did the old bait and switch with the ship thing from Star Wars. They also made this very similar to even though there was no other ship in that Star Wars Skywalker movie, there was no other ship that Chewbacca could have been on. But no, somehow it was another ship. Why did they have a decoy ship? No one knows. It just wasn't on there. Anyway, same idea. Decoy ship. Well, there's an awful lot of frantic weird shit going on. So in the end, we come to and basically in Hong Kong final battle with Mechagodzilla. They team up to fight him. Kong mainly beats up Mechagodzilla. The most interesting man in the world guy, he gets eaten by Mechagodzilla, who is suddenly powered even though he shouldn't be, with the power brain from the DNA of the skull that they have. Even though that the DNA, how would that work? That's not how that works. The DNA. I've done similar things in the Transformer. It's very similar to Space Bridge. Just stripped very similar to Space Bridge and Children's Shadow. Very similar. I think they watched it, and that's cool because their version spent $200 million. My version, I probably maybe spent $500 on it. $500. uh, on that story. It's free. It's free to watch. Uh, but here we have yeah, those two stories combined probably $500. But yeah, so we have yeah, Godzilla versus Kong. Keep calling it Kong versus Godzilla. It's Godzilla versus Kong. It's a new 2021 King Kong movie. Um, yeah, it's fine. It it's fine. It hits all the right buttons. It's not. Yeah, it's okay. I guess the critics are fawning over it. I don't know if it's the greatest thing that ever came out this year or anything yet. It's probably get special effect awards. It certainly isn't going to get acting awards. Like, come on. But yeah, and it's not the guy that played the most interesting man in the world character. I don't think that's who that is. It's somebody else. It's probably Pascal from Star Wars. But yeah, yeah. So we have that'd be a younger guy then, wouldn't it? Yeah. Um, Billy Bobby Brown, doesn't quite have the charisma of an Alexa Vega and quite have the insanity, raw insanity of an Amanda Bynes, she's on a par with Trachtenberg, who was kind of a little bit gothic and strange, and yeah, she's on a par with Trachtenberg. So I say, well, not necessarily natural charisma, but interesting to observe acting. So yeah, but yes, that's fine. Yeah, so yeah, as a lead in the movie though, I don't. Yeah, opposite the other characters, it's a little goofy that she would. It reminds me a lot of Tomorrowland in that sort of casting was weird. But I'll give it this one: the black guy playing a similar character to George Clooney's character in that movie, does a better job playing it when he's with them. He isn't as creepy. Like, he's just like, oh, I'm just like acting like a big kid. It's funny, I'm acting like a big kid, ha. I've got this bottle of booze, but it's a symbol of yeah, and stuff. And that's used later as a plot device. So to defeat the bad guys, he uses the kid spills it on the console. That's somehow shorts out the bad guy. That's how that works. Yeah. But yeah, yeah, and parts of it are very silly, but it's a giant monster movie. So yeah, I forgive it for giant monster movies. Yeah. I can't really say it's 4 stars. It's 3.5. It's 3.5 stars on 5. It's fine. Yeah, it's dumb fun popcorn flick. Fine. Assume that when theaters come back fully, and they are having some theaters come back, we can actually see some reaction from the audience. It has been a long time, so yeah. So anyway, that was Godzilla versus Kong.